Good morning, traders. My morning brief video. I'll try to keep it as tight as I can here, real quick, guys. So, as of Friday, we actually broke one time framing on the daily charts to the upside and came down pretty hard last week. Um, and basically we have a 100-year trend line at 58.40. Um, that's kind of where I'm looking forward to markets to close out the year, 58.40. Okay, guys. So let's definitely keep this on watch here going forward. I put this on the trading view first here to if you go out, that's a 100-year trend line. If you have to really zoom it here. Shoot, sorry. You have to go out in the monthly for one thing to do this. I've showed this chart before. Okay, guys. Uh, Monthly. Let me go 12 months. Try to get this as fast as I can. Yeah, that don't work. Go monthly. Okay, guys. So if you go all the way back out to 1927, I think 19 something like that, 19. Where's it at? Yeah, 1923. There it is. Okay, guys. And if you zoom here on your trading view chart, that is where our trend line comes from. So you're actually hitting 1923, the tech bubble high. We're right into that currently right here. So my primary thesis is that we're going to close uh, at or below the 100-year trend line to finish the year out. Okay, guys. If you come over here on my thicker swim charts now, we'll leave this one behind here, guys. And double check it here, make sure I do have this drawn the same here. Okay. Okay. On this chart here, I have it actually drawn down to 5807. Is showing up on Thinkorswim around 5807. So somewhere between 5840, 5807. Uh, that's where we're looking for here on SPX and that 100-year trend line for the back test to close out the year. That's my primary thesis, that we're going to be coming down, closing at or near that trend line. So uh, I wouldn't. I don't think anybody's really looking to go long the market. Okay, so be very mindful of that. Now on the daily time frame here, you can see a clear head and shoulders formation happening here into the year end, into the big calendar year, calendar change. Head and shoulders potential high here, likely to close near the shoulder low. 58.40 would put us down here. Okay, so if we close, somewhere down here, then potentially setting up for a breakdown of the head and shoulders pattern to kick off the first of the year. Okay, that's my primary thesis. Okay, guys. Um, so some things that I'm looking at here. I post a lot of charts over in Discord. That's a lot faster to do it that way because I want to get this video over with here, guys. Okay, and some things I was looking at here. One thing that really jumped out at me was Tesla. And everybody's bullish Tesla, right? Well, I found a chart over the weekend on Tesla. That's what I do. I post these. Let me zoom this out real quick here. You see what this is? This is a shooting star on Tesla on a 2-week chart. So be very mindful of that. A shooting star on the 2-week chart on Tesla. Be very keep that in the back of your mind. There's no way that I would be looking personally to the upside. I know some guys Tuesday were looking to the upside and were going bullish on Tesla, and they got or is it Tuesday or Thursday? I can't remember. I think it was Thursday maybe. They were still bullish on Tesla. Well, uh, boy, that really reversed itself Friday, I tell you. So it was a definite trap. Okay, so heads up on that going into this week. Okay, it's not the type of chart that I would personally go into. Some other things I was looking at here, as far as bearish charts, Microsoft. Let me find this. Where's my Microsoft chart at? Some things. Let me go over here. We had a big sell order that hit Microsoft. It was a pretty substantial sell side order that happened at 4 o'clock there on Friday. And remember, guys, the signature trades, they don't report until today. So you won't see those trades until today's trading session. The signature trade. What are signature trades? Those are the dark pool trades from. They've got these private brokers now that trade on the international exchanges, and this is how the billionaires and the institutions, they can do their trading over there, and they have 24 hours before they have to report their trades. So we don't even have those figures in. So basically, uh, a lot of the stuff that we saw, the volume that rose the markets off the recent lows in the last week. Okay, we had equal or greater volume to the downside that hit the market around 4 o'clock uh, Friday. So be very mindful. This is just one of many. And this Microsoft chart is actually looking pretty bad. I was actually looking earlier last week to take Microsoft for a rotation trade to the upside. And guess what? We broke this. See this low right here? So we've already violated that low as of Friday. So heads up on that. So we're one time framing to the downside on Microsoft, where most of the tech have not done that yet. So be very mindful of this. Microsoft is not looking that good here. Other things that's happening here. Let me go over here back to my other charts here. I'll start with NVIDIA, I guess. NVIDIA, I got a chart on it. NVIDIA wasn't too bad. Let me go over here to my, I thought I saw a dark pool on that one. Let me type NVIDIA in here. Let me apply it. There you go. Yeah, see, that's 52. So basically, this rank in the ranking of all time trades, it's middle of the road, but it was a sell signal on NVIDIA. This wasn't too bad. Some of these were really bad. Let's see here, which one was it? I can't remember now off the top of my head. Down here, Apple. Yeah, see, Apple had a pretty substantial sell that hit the market there at the close there Friday. So Apple had a pretty good sell side action. And like I said, we don't have the full scope of the sell side pressure until today's session for all those signature black dark pool trades. Google, I didn't do that one. Sorry. Give me a second here. I'll pull Google up. And remember on Tesla, for one thing, what's driving price on those names? Tesla, the fear, the threat that they're going to do away with the tax credits. There is this belief that a bunch of people are going to come in and buy a bunch of EVs to finish the current year out to make sure they can lock in those tax credits. Because you could probably potentially buy all the way into November, December of next year. And if at the end of the year, Uncle Sam decides to pull the tax credits, you bought your vehicle and you're not going to get the tax credit. So there is that fear, FOMO, in the back of people's minds that if they don't get those tax credits in this calendar year, that so that's one of the driving. In a similar situation, what's driving price in the telecommunications market? The election. The election is a bubble. Uh, a bunch of billions and billions of dollars came into uh, uh, telecommunications for the election. Okay, and you basically got a pipeline to where all that money has to be funneled. So what happens is in this pipeline, whenever there is so much more money coming in than the pipeline can handle, guess what? The price per ad goes through the roof. So companies like Google, Meta, you know, any of these ad-based companies, they're going to have a really good quarter because of all that uh, money coming in for the election. And it's a one-time event, and we're on the flip side of that. So what typically happens is they run it up into the earnings, and it could happen this quarter, it could happen next quarter, but that tends to be a peak earnings event. So be very mindful of that. which then in turn the market starts selling off away from that. It can start at any time. The selling pressure can start at any time, but this is what's been driving prices because of that pipeline. In addition to that, we've got a new major player in that pipeline. Okay, and if you've all of a sudden have a contraction in the need for ad revenue, that new player is Amazon. They're a big player. Prime members now, they all get these ads now. They don't have free. You have to watch the ads now or pay. I don't know if you can pay a premium or not to not watch ads or not. But so that's a new person, a new major player in the media space, which up till now Amazon had not been part of. So that's potentially another double headwind for companies like Google and Meta and stuff. So be very mindful of that going forward. I'm sorry, I was talking and didn't refresh my darn chart. Sorry. Get this thing going here. There you go. See, this was just a minor. Okay, so that's why I'm saying we'll just keep an eye on this. It's not even hitting the rankings, so it's not that big of a deal on that one yet so far. Other ones I'm looking at here, Amazon. Okay, did I put one? I put one at. We had a big sell. That's one of the highest rankings. So there was a big institutional seller in Amazon. So be mindful. That's a fairly high one. There was a really, I think Meta was the one. In fact, I know Meta was one. Major institutional seller. This is of all time dark pool transactions for the past 15 years. We're in the 94th percentile of trades. A major net seller in Meta that hit, and we don't even have the signature trades. We don't even know what the foreign dark pools did until today. So obviously, this is foreboding of problems that are about to be reported in today's session. So be very mindful of that. Netflix, that was the one that really stood out to me. Let me go over here to Netflix. I got to pull it up real quick here on this. Oh, my cat's going nuts. This time of day, he wants to go look out the door. He doesn't go outside. He just wants to go out to the door with the door open, to see if there's anything out there he can chase down. So it's a 50 percentile. So it was a major trade in Netflix sell side pressure on that one as well. So be mindful of that. Um, 1 second. Sorry, I had to let the cat out. He was driving me nuts. Okay, guys, some things that I'm looking at here, guys. So for the past 3 weeks, we're closing below all the weekly anchored VWAPs, and we are actually closing. We are opening below the current week's anchor VWAP. This is all bearish. This is all bearish setting up here to kick off the last 2 trading days of the year. So be very mindful of that. We may not get any follow through, but I'm just saying, where we're located, it is more likely we're going to be retesting last week's lows than it is that we're going to be pushing to the highs. So, given the current structure, so just be very mindful. We have lost the one time framing. We had one time framing going up. Like I said, we have a head and shoulders pattern going on here. So be very mindful of that as well. And we still have a fair value gap down below us here that has not been satisfied. Really good odds that we're going to be taking care of filling that gap. So be very mindful of that in the back of your mind. Okay, guys. Qs, similar situation, actually even acting worse here. So the Qs are actually acting a little bit worse this morning. So heads up on that. So heads, similar situation. Russell was bear flagging. It's holding up just a little bit better. Okay, the Russell is holding a little better this morning. So SPY and Qs are under pressure this morning. Okay, guys. So be very mindful of that. Okay. Was there any other ones I want to look at here? 1 second here, guys. A little bit of good news in the market. This is the first weekly open above the prior week's close in a while here for the ZNs, so our 10-year bonds. So we do have a little bit of saving grace that the yields are coming down a little bit this morning. So heads up on that. Okay, so far this morning, our top volume movers here, NVIDIA opening below Friday's close. Heads up on that. Be very mindful of that here. It wasn't that bearish to close the week out, so let's be mindful of that. Close last week out. Uh, so the things that were getting large sell side action, at least they're not at the top of the list this morning. So that is a little bit of saving grace. Okay. Palantir, still below Friday's close. Boeing, guys, we had 2 accidents over the weekend in Boeing with related to Boeing. So heads up on that. Way below Friday's close this morning, taking a hit. I mean, it wasn't really. I don't think neither one of them was. There was a hydraulic problem with one of them. So, uh, but it was an older plane as well. So be very mindful of that. You know, it wasn't really something that was directly Boeing's fault, but you know how that is. Going down my list here, we got nothing going on there. FXI, he has below Friday's close. MSTR is below Friday's close. Broadcom, okay, below Friday's close. Broadcom, I think I looked at that one as well. Let me double check that. Oh, here's one that really showed up to me. In the 80 plus percentile, JP Morgan had a big seller into the close there Friday. And it's what's really important about these dark pool prints. These come out before the 415 time frame most of the time. And you can trade options all the way up to 415. So be very mindful of that. And so you could actually take a swing position just based off the dark pool activity, and we were clearly getting reading that they were going to come in here and potentially, uh, the upside was highly unlikely, barring some sort of news event coming into today's session, given the dark pool activity that hit the mark tape right there at the close Friday. I'll finish off with that one here. So we did have some sell side activity. It wasn't the biggest in the world, but it was sell side activity. But the one that really stood out to me was the big sell order and Meta to hit the tape Friday. So we have to keep that in the back of our mind. We don't be coming in here buying up Meta right after such a massive transaction. And that, like I said, we don't even know what the signature trades are yet. So be mindful of that. There's some trades you just probably should stay away from, and Meta to the long side is probably one of them early on this morning. Okay. Okay. That's all I got to really say. Please like the video if you like it. Retweet me on Twitter, Gumby9662C. And I do appreciate any comments you can give me at the bottom. I really appreciate the feedback. Thanks a lot.